Now, if you haven't seen Spider-Man Far From Home, and if you don't want things ruined for you, then please consider this your very, very strong spoiler alert. Feel free to bookmark this video to watch it later, and then come on back so we can discuss what happens in more detail. What's up everybody, it's me E-Man from E-Man's Movie Reviews. Spider-Man Far From Home managed to deliver some fun twists and turns that many people just didn't see coming. We were introduced to Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio, for the very first time, and we soon found out that he's truly the master of illusions. Not only did he constantly fool Spider-Man and the people in the movie, but I'm here to tell you that he's probably fooled some of you too. What if I told you that Mysterio really isn't gone? And that he's got you to see exactly what he's wanted everyone to see. I'll tell you exactly how and why coming up next. Now let me ask you a quick question. Is Mysterio really dead? Why should we believe that he is? I've had some serious doubts about this after seeing Far From Home, so I'm gonna list for you all 5 sets of reasons why I do not believe that Mysterio is dead at all. First off, let's consider Beck's primary motivation and mindset. He really wants to be the hero. He wants the recognition and attention that Tony Stark received. The same Tony Stark that Quentin Beck completely hates after hijacking his holographic technology and renaming it Barf. After feeling slighted and overlooked, Beck has made it his goal to be fully acknowledged in the highest way possible, and that is as a hero. As we saw in the beginning of Far From Home, the Avengers are being praised mightily for saving the universe, and most of all, Tony Stark receives a ton of that praise too. So for Beck, he will do anything to get the most amount of attention, but he'll also go to any lengths to top the praise that Tony Stark receives, because Beck does believe that he is superior to Tony Stark. And let's not forget the fact that Beck is a tad bit unstable too. The important thing to remember is that in order for Mysterio to reach that Avengers level of adoration from the people, 2 things need to happen. He needs to create a villain, and he needs to reach an even bigger stage. The Elementals were primary villains to accomplish his goal, but once Spider-Man caught wind of Mysterio's plan, Mysterio had to make Spider-Man the villain instead. As for the bigger stage, just imagine how much adoration and praise, or even worship, a hero or a savior would receive if they came back from the dead. I believe Mysterio's hero complex would lead him down such a path to fake his own death, make Spider-Man the villain who needs vanquishing, and then make a surprise return in a future Spider-Man sequel. But hey, I get it, you're smart, and you need more evidence than just a convincing motive, right? Well, let's talk about the next reason why we should doubt Mysterio's death. On a number of different occasions, Beck would let us know that he knows very well just how people in society think. Mysterio has a very keen sense as to just how deeply and important his whole masquerade has to be in order to fool people. Not only that, but during the rehearsal run of their final illusion, Beck talked about how important it was to fool someone like Nick Fury. With Nick Fury being one of the most dangerous and paranoid people on the planet, Beck knows that a critical part of having people believe in his illusions is a particular attention to detail. With that knowledge, Beck is very confident in his own belief that he can fool people into believing what he wants them to believe. He said on 2 different occasions as such. He yelled at William that people will see what he wants them to see. His final words to Peter Parker was that you'll see, Peter, people tend to believe, and nowadays they'll believe in anything. Keep in mind that when dramatic or traumatic events happen, people will gravitate to belief as a coping mechanism or just for support. So after the snap or the blip, people are primed to believe in something or someone during that time. Mysterio clearly knew that and wanted to take advantage of that by creating extreme situations to foster people to believe what he wanted them to. For you Watchmen fans, this is very similar to Ozymandias' master plan to some degree. But let's move on to more hardcore evidence. During that battle with Spider-Man in London, Mysterio told Spider-Man that he always has contingency plans. Now, he said plans in the plural sense, meaning he had more than one plan. Now, on the surface, I think we all probably assumed that he was referring to all the drones that were at his disposal. However, I believe that he was referring to his actual plans in case things went haywire. We saw one of those plans revealed, being that footage of him revealing Spider-Man's identity to the general public. And I believe the other contingency plan was him faking his death. And let's not forget that Mysterio has literally demonstrated to us within this very movie that he is fully capable of faking his own death. Recall the time when he was impersonating Nick Fury to flush out details about Peter Parker's friends. He created a very elaborate, multi-layered set of illusions. He not only impersonated Fury, but then he impersonated himself without the Mysterio costume. That is really important to consider, and I'll come back to that later. While being in the motion capture suit, he pretends to have Nick Fury shoot him and thus get the information from Parker, revealing the status of his friends. That double fake out demonstrated just how carefully and thoughtfully Mysterio plans can be when it comes to making people believe that he's dead. And in case you missed it, Mysterio actually faked his death a second time in Far From Home. Remember that hallway fight in London? One of the drones fired at Mysterio, fatally wounding him. You know, just like how he had Fury shoot himself in the previous illusion. As Mysterio is on the ground about to die, Spider-Man uses his spider sense to quickly grab the gun from the real Mysterio who was standing beside him. With the real Mysterio revealed, the fake one on the ground disappears. Mysterio collapses to the ground and falls dead. But here's the crazy thing some people might have missed. Remember that the fatally wounded Mysterio was the illusion that we saw later disappear. So how exactly would the supposed real Mysterio also be fatally hurt and die? If you really wanted to get detailed about it, before that big confrontation and before Mysterio got shot, don't forget that he put a huge illusion in the hallway that gave him the perfect cover to set up all his illusions. Not to mention, it probably was rather convincing for him to wear the motion capture suit again in order to fool Peter Parker into thinking he was fighting the real Mysterio. So again, Mysterio has faked his death not once but twice in this movie alone, so who's to say that he wouldn't do it for the third time? But I know there's still a bit of doubt left. I mean, Spider-Man did confirm Mysterio's death, right?
Wrong.
Is it possible that E.D.I.T.H had been hacked? Or better yet, how does Peter Parker even know that he even has the real E.D.I.T.H? Keep in mind that E.D.I.T was in the possession of not only Quentin Beck, but his entire team of brilliant, disgruntled Stark employees. Mysterio did have full admin rights to E.D.I.T for a while, so there's no telling what they may have reprogrammed the AI to do or say. So we might think that Parker using E.D.I.T to ensure Mysterio's death was confirmation enough, but Parker didn't ask E.D.I.T if Mysterio was dead. All he asked was, is this real? E.D.I.T simply confirmed and said, all illusions are down, Peter. And if that wasn't enough, Peter didn't even check the body. As a matter of fact, he literally just gets up and leaves Mysterio to go check on MJ. Alright, well, that's my case as to why I do not believe Mysterio died, and he just pulled a fast one on everyone. Before watching this video, did you believe that he was truly dead, or did you have some doubts? Did this video point out any key details that you might not have considered before? Are there any details that you think I might have missed? I could always be wrong with this, and maybe Mysterio really is dead. But I guess we won't really know until the next couple of Spider-Man sequels. I certainly hope he's not dead because I thought Jake Gyllenhaal was phenomenal in the role, and I'd hate to see his character just be a one and done just like that. But please, let me know what you all think in the comments below. Is Mysterio still alive, or is he dead? Well, that's all I have for you all today. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys know I always appreciate it. If you enjoy this video and you want to support my channel, then share this with a friend who might also enjoy it. If you want to see more of my videos, please consider subscribing to my channel and become a member of the E-Team. And don't forget to hit the notification button because YouTube won't always let you know when I upload new videos unless you ring that bell. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.